why I'm starting a carnivore diet in 2026. Now, one thing I can say is that I'm not starting a carnivore diet as a New Year's resolution in 2026. With regards to New Year's resolution, I think there's a very, very high stat that most of them are broken within the first few days, first 30 days. And you almost feel like if you make one slip up on a New Year's resolution, you've almost broken it or semi-broken it. So, me starting the carnivore diet in 2026, it's not a New Year's resolution. I'm almost trying out a new way of life, a new way of eating, just to see if I can make it easier, a more convenient way to eat, and a more consistent way to eat. Now, as a business owner, I'm also looking at this from a different perspective. Because from some of the research that I've done following, the carnivore diet YouTubers, and watching their videos and the research they've done and just having a look and, seeing real life examples of what people have, effects and changes that's actually helped with people that have been doing it. I'm actually looking forward to see how my energy, mood, focus, and that changes as a business owner, to see if it can make me more productive as a business owner and director, and see if it actually helps in business growth and business generation further down the line. I know that weight loss is also a added bonus and a massive bonus as part of the carnivore diet, and that's why a lot of people actually do tend to start the carnivore diet, because it does kind of help with the weight loss element side of it. Now, that to me is going to be a bonus. That said, I've always struggled with my weight for the last 30 years, and I'm pretty sure you can kind of resonate as well if you've tried to control your weight and that as well. Now, we're told to eat a varied diet, a balanced diet, and if you do end up putting on weight, it's your fault for putting on weight because you're not moving enough and you need to eat less. Now, I've tried that and I have found it very, very difficult to kind of keep the weight off. So, if I do go into a crash diet as such, I do end up losing a fair amount of weight. And then as soon as you stop doing that, you end up putting on the weight again. Now, if I go back a few years in 2020, during the lockdowns and that, a lot of my friends and family just stayed at home as we were told to, but they ended up putting on weight. And I kind of made a conscious decision then that I was going to almost do the opposite and actually lose weight. So on a daily basis, I started exercising, walking more, moving more, actually watching what I eat, and then just doing a bit of research. That's, I think it was tail end of 2020, I came across keto. I hadn't actually heard of keto before, and, the advantages and benefits of keto. Now, I did do keto for a while. I did actually enjoy doing keto, and it did actually have some good results, although I never actually got down to my ideal weight or anything like that. Now, the results of keto and that and what happened there and what I thought of it fully, I'll probably do another video on in the future. But just for this particular video, it's with keto, I found it, difficult because there was a lot of vegetables to wash up, chop up, and then cook with as well. And then you can almost go down the rabbit hole of being able to make keto bagels, keto muffins, and even buy keto processed food, which technically was keto, but it's not good for you because it's ultra processed anyway. So, that there was that avenue behind it as well. And that also made it very easy to go back and stop doing keto and start having a normal diet. And then as soon as you go back to normal diet, all the weight comes back on again. One of the other elements and aspects that I've actually noticed as well is whenever I do actually have like a carb heavy meal, I'm always very sleepy afterwards. And normally, one of the things I noticed whilst doing keto was that my mentally I was stronger and brain fog was a little bit less and that sort of thing. I haven't actually done keto in a good little while. It's probably been about a year and a half, that sort of thing. But then, from doing the research on keto, I slowly started seeing videos on carnivore on YouTube, and then that's how I started doing my research on carnivore. And it's going to be challenging because I'm Indian and most of my family are not immediate family as such because, we eat meat at home, but extended family, parents, cousins, aunties, uncles, a lot of them are vegetarian. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge. We'll see what happens there. and how I handle that. So if you've got any social events or, any birthday parties or anything like that, just to see what I'm going to do. I've already got a semi-plan, but I'll probably make another video on that in the future as well. But what I am looking forward to is spending less time in the kitchen and less time preparing food, because you buy the meat, put it in the air fryer, put it in a pan, cook it and eat it. So, whereas before sometimes I actually used to buy Green Chef keto boxes. And, by the time I've washed the vegetables, made the meal, you're looking at 45 minutes to an hour, and then you've got to clean up and everything else. Whereas, what I'm expecting or planning to do with Carnivore is go to the supermarkets, go to the butchers, go to the shops, buy the food, put it in the air fryer, put it in on a frying pan, cook it. Similar things with eggs. And hopefully within 10-15 minutes, the food should be ready to eat and cleared up and washed up and everything else within half an hour. So that should save me a lot of time as well. Now, I'm going to be documenting to see kind of how I get on day 1, day 2, week 1, week 2, and what my intentions and plans for this channel are. It's just to kind of monitor, see what happens with the carnivore side and carnivore lifestyle, but also how it does actually affect me productivity-wise as a business owner. So there'll probably be, various types of videos and that we'll be doing on here, some business productivity related and some carnivore related. So if you kind of like what I'm saying at the moment and want to give me a like and a subscribe and a follow, looking forward to chatting with you in the comments too.